or may not. That's why I was telling you. Yes, we do. That's why I was telling you email me. That's easy for you to check.
All right, I think we'll go ahead and get started. All right. Welcome to everyone. I'm glad you could make it here tonight. My name is Toby Seraphin, and I'm the president of the Riverview Civic League. I'm going to do something that I've done in the past, and that is quickly go around the room and everybody will introduce themselves and say where they live. My name is Toby Seraphin. I live on Virginia Avenue, Colonial Place.
Randy Cook, the Vice President. I live on Newport Avenue.
I'm John Robertson. I'm the Secretary, and I live on Virginia Avenue. I'm Pete Stoll. I'm the membership person. I live on Colonial. I'm Greg Bellick. I do the newsletter. I live on
Jeremy Jones, I live on 42nd Street.
I'm Scott Psycho. Josh White. I'm your new CRO. I work at 901 Asbury.
I'm Alice Finch. I live on Georgia Avenue, and I deliver some of the newsletters.
Hi, I'm Irene O'Brien, and we live at New Jersey and Gosnell. So.
Johnny Blake, you drove with Johnny.
Anna Thurman, Carolina Avenue.
Brad Hall, Carolina.
Billy Cook, Newport Avenue.
Steve Sparks, Towns, Mandy.
Mary Carmel, 40th Street, Riverview.
Thank you, Jordan. We'll go to the 40th Street.
Cheryl Robinson, Virginia Avenue.
Audrey Webb, environmental person, and I live on Colonial.
I'm David Palmer with Mr. Jack.
I'm going to chat.
Massachusetts, and I live on
Cameron Mackey, Massachusetts Avenue.
Center City, New York Avenue.
Wonderful. As Josh, Officer White said, he is our new CRO. We received an email from Carrie a couple of weeks ago. She has been transferred to the police department's training division. So she is handing the reins over to Officer White. I know that everyone who has had an opportunity to interact with Officer Ford appreciates what a valuable asset she was to us. She was responsive. She took our issues, no matter how trivial they may seem, seriously, and put a lot of time into the work that she did for our neighborhood and the other neighborhood. And Officer White, if you'd like to give your report.
I'm not sure exactly where to stand to see you.
And you can stand right up here if you like.
I'm also Josh White. I've been doing this for about 8 years. I was here briefly before in another neighborhood about 8 months before getting put back in school for staffing purposes. I am probably not going to live up to Carrie. I've worked as CRO after her. No one compares to Carrie. She does a lot of work. She's a good officer. But as far as the stats go, that's what I'm going to jump into right now. And then after if everybody has any individual questions, concerns, feel free to bring them up for everybody or pull me aside and I'll be happy to speak with anybody that has anything. As far as the main numbers, there were 11 arrests in Toronto. After speaking with individuals out here, I know it's not new, you guys. There were 2 burglaries. One was clear without arrest. The arrest was made that day. The other one, it was going to be an individual person new. And that also is one of the largest from the building. Same incident, different days. So the other largest, there's no information, so that one's inactive. Do you guys need anything more specific, or do you guys have any specific questions about any of the incidents, or want me to break down anything further out? You have to do that right now.
You notice any common denominators in these larcenies?
Stuff in cars. If things are in your car, these kids are out here at night, late at night. I was just speaking with somebody over here, and it's low risk for them. High reward. They walk away. I've talked to a juvenile and I've taken them home. He didn't have a charge, and I asked him about it. He said they make $200 a night individually, and they come out in groups and they just walk around. They just do a few cars a night, whatever they can find. There really isn't a rhyme or reason. It doesn't matter if the car's unlocked. It doesn't matter if it's locked. If it's locked, they're going to break the window. If it's unlocked, they're just going to open it. They might break the window anyway. What items in the car is the big thing. They might I wish I knew if there was a specific rhyme or reason, but property being in the car is definitely something we want to minimize. We can avoid having something like a purse in the back seat, or even a phone charger plugged in, because then the phone is in the car. Things like that. It reduces, but probably isn't going to get rid of it, I'll be honest. Anybody have anything else that you guys? Yes?
Have you increased the patrols in the area?
I actually was just speaking to Toby, and I just came off the light unit, and our main objective for the last month, which is what their primary goal was originally, has been the larcenies in the 3rd Patrol Division. Unfortunately, it's not just this area that has the problem, so the resources are being moved around. I spoke with our sergeant that runs that unit. When we're in the area, the numbers drop. But then when we move to another area to address that rise in numbers, the numbers pick back up and we left. So these guys are on patrol. They're out here doing their best at night. They don't call it all. It's hard for them to fill patrol areas when they can. But if they're on a message, they can be in the hospital for 8 hours. This could be their area, and then you have the other 2 or 3 cars building calls or catching the night. So it is tough. That's why the light unit has been recently, their goal has been changed, and their primary focus has been on larcenies. And like I said, week to week, there is a slight decrease. But overall, arrested made. I arrested me and my partner, arrested 2 juveniles in Colonial Place a few months ago. They were both convicted. He and another gentleman, another officer, made 2 arrests the next day. And, I arrested another juvenile over in Highland Park, close enough to you guys. And the rest are there. The problem is catching them, getting good information. When someone breaks into the car, we don't have any suspect information. The times we kind of gotten that down based on when people are leaving their cars, seeing them last, and finding them. But the suspect information is based on prior arrests, prior encounters. But once it gets dark, you guys see things out. I tell people all the time, that's what we're here for. Call me, of course, I don't mind. But don't rely on me. I may not be at work, I might not be here. Call the non-emergency number if you see something out. If it's out of you, it's probably out. If it's out of the ordinary, and you're not used to seeing, somebody out here and they look like they're opening cars, call. Give a good description. Leave a phone number. Don't just call and don't give us anything, because they might need to call you back. It happens a lot where I'll be somewhere and I want dispatch to get back in touch with the person that I spoke. They called in originally. They didn't give any information. They give a suspect a brief, small description. 2 males. That doesn't help me. Clothing should stay on the phone if they ask you to. But try and give us as much information you can, a phone number. If you give a name, that's okay, don't give a name, but a number is always fantastic. Because a lot of times, I want to have dispatch call you guys back and ask what direction they last seen going, what were they wearing, things like that. That helps us to at least stop them, get their information. And most of the time, the juveniles will take them home. Even if they weren't doing anything, they're involved possibly in a crime, we've documented, we take them home, turn over to the parents, have them sign. That's what we do. And now we have a mandate if they're out here after hours, they're 11 o'clock curfew. You guys see kids out here at 11 o'clock? Call. Also, you got kids walking in the neighborhood. After 11 o'clock, the command said they weren't charged. After 2 times of charging them, they do not, you can take it to the parents. I've done it. I've charged parents for curfew violation. It happens. Kids been out here, the parents don't get fined. So, but that helps. As far as the numbers, they give the week, they go up, they go down. It is a goal. I'm not here working on my hours, Justin, that's what we're here for. Anything else? Yes?
Can you address the speeding on
Grammy?
Off of the River Bridge?
It's Grammy?
Yeah. I'm talking about it that overlooks the digital, and the average speed coming off that bridge is 45 to 55 miles an hour. And city buses, post office, school buses are notorious. And my concern is when they're coming around that curve southbound, trying to make that curve and people are behind them. If they miss that, the one thing in line are those gas tanks at that gas station. And that is a big concern. I actually sit out there in the mornings and the evenings, and it's not unusual for the highest I've seen so far is 62. And they, even Lafayette, Llewellyn is the same.
I spoke with the traffic officer about that yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but I emailed him, he got back to me, I emailed back to that. He writes tickets out here. The traffic officer out here to enforce that. That's their prerogative. They have issues. I told the business association I met with, if you give me a straight road, I'm going to give you people speeding. Like, it is unfortunate, but everybody speaks a little bit. It's sometimes excessive. Yes, I agree with you. He only writes about 15 over domain. He said he writes about 20 long himself. And they run radar out here, weekly. But the same situation she said, as far as with these officers in patrol and things like that, there's only so much that we can do. That's what traffic's there to help us with. If I had a solution to stop speeding, I would give it to you. We're out there enforcing it. I asked the document we had for the other Civic League. I would be happy to share that information with you next month when he gives it to me, as far as the numbers that he's pulled. And I will be getting up with him after that to see about getting the trailer at some point. And just that way they can monitor it. It better as far as consistent, constant. It would be out here for how long they leave them. But that's what records the speeds. These devices just tell you how fast you're going. Yeah, it's just a display.
It doesn't display very much because it's always slow down, slow down, slow down.
When I saw that today, I was going like 30, it's 35 until you hit 35. I was like 37 coming down, and I was like, I got it, 37 is speeding, but it's not like I was flying over the bridge, and I was like, all right, I'm assuming most people don't go the exact speed, honestly. I've not been pulling in front of this or whatever. I'm just pulling over, tell them to go by me. I'm going way too slow to get
Because it's both directions.
Right. I had that complaint. I attempted to address it by contacting traffic. That trailer, have one, and he gets. So, what I'm working with the officer that does sit out here, and he's going to monitor for me if you want to be able to bring that guy. Yes.
There was a question last time about, the speed limit changes when it comes to the river. It actually changes on the other side of the bridge. At the end of the Willoughby, that's where it goes 30 miles an hour. So people are, some people say, the bridge is changing 30 miles.
I do see the 30 mile over.
Where's the 30 before the bridge?
Yeah. But if you're coming off of Willoughby, you see it.
Yes.
Where's that?
It's right there at the end of the bridge.
It's right before it. On the west side. Yes, sorry.
But it's right at the stop line.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Like I said, I know it's a bridge as well. Is there a little bridge? So I see the no fishing sign. That was something else was brought to my attention, the no fishing in Colonial Place, but then only applies over there. Now, Carrie talked to me about that. That applies to everybody, and that's why I'm like...
It's the no fishing signs along the bulkhead.
Yeah. But like I said, I know it's there. But she informed me that sometimes people from the community do it. But it only works one way. Okay, that's what I was saying. Like I have no problem telling people to move along. I did it the other day, and I got his information. I told him how I work, and that's warning, ticket, jail. That's how it works for me. But if that's something that you guys are adamant about me to enforce, like I'm going to enforce it across the board, it would be like, well, I live on Colonial. It's too bad that you live in the community. So that doesn't matter to me. I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page for it. I'm not just doing it to live here. I'm going to do it for everybody. So I think that's fair.
It is. Well, the sign says, no fishing forever.
Yep,
What do you have to do?
I understand. It's very simple.
It's like, stop.
Yeah, no fishing, no grabbing, I know. But like I said,
But I rode past it the other day, and there were 4 men fishing.
I would say Norfolk's pretty underserved with available fishing spots. I think I kind of fall on the other side that there's waterfront everywhere.
issue that we've been getting comments from both sides. Perhaps not right now, but it is something that we will want to look into to see.
Just want you guys to let me know, because I already got a call last week, like something, and I can't really handle it, because I know it's something that's been brought up, but I'm going to do it one way for everybody. It's not going to be like, okay, live here, have fun, and then tell the guy that doesn't live here, because he lives 2 blocks away, kick rocks.
No, we don't want that.
So.
We don't want that.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I'm aware that the sign is there for a reason, so you don't want trash and debris and stuff like that, and I understand that, you know, there's water everywhere. I do get it. I've lived in Norfolk. I've seen the water. I've seen it both ways. And that's why I want to talk to you guys about it, honestly.
as long as the signs are there, we expect them to be enforced.
Okay.
And what we're going to discuss is whether or not we want the signs.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, ma'am.
I was speaking to you earlier about having somebody come out and they assess your house to see, you know, if it's safe and, you know, areas that you could address. And I couldn't find the phone number to show it to you, but I did find it in this month's bulletin. And I did call it last month. It's the Crime Prevention Unit. And it says, we'll perform a free evaluation of the resident's home to help improve security. And I called this number, I left my name and my phone number, nobody ever got back to me.
So it's Crime Prevention Unit?
That's what it says right here.
Is there a name?
No, it's just his phone number. It was in this month's bulletin, you can take a copy and see it.
What page is it?
It's the last one, page 7.
Okay, yeah, I can touch base, and if on the way out, if you want, you have to grab an email address and get back to you on that. It's not a problem.
Okay,
I
great.
don't know how that system works. Like I said, I tell you, I don't learn things all the time. There are things I didn't know about. I didn't know that you did that. I'm surprised they do that, but I don't know who exactly runs that specific aspect of crime prevention, because they do a lot. So, but I'll be happy to look into it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
The precinct sector over here.
Third precinct would be center. 335 is the area. So I didn't realize how big 335 was until I took over Carrie's workload. And it's big. It's not a lot. It's slower than most, but it still is has its moments. But it's quite large. It goes all the way from here to Edgewater or Bowview. So a lot of houses. That's okay. They're a lovely house to look at. Yes.
If we would like to contact you, do we have new numbers or are we using the old numbers?
The old number will still work. I was just speaking over here, and I have a cell phone that they gave me. And I told people, like, I don't have it on me all the time. I'm not at work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But I do have an email address, and I do check at it frequently.
Okay.
And I will make sure I give my updated email address. But the phone number that's on the back of the flyer, that's still a good phone. That's the main desk line. I'll leave my cell phone number and then my email, which is just josh.white@outlook.com. It's the same thing as Carrie's, just put a period in between my first and last name. And it's very simple, but I'll make sure I leave that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
That's okay.
You're doing that? Or do you just give it to you later?
I'm going to do that.
Okay.
That'll be fine.
You guys have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you. Okay. Next, as some of you may have heard, we're going to have hopefully a new restaurant that's going to open up where Cafe M was. It's going to be called Clementine's. And
Yeah, Rick Freely.
Fraley is one of the hires. He's also a neighbor who lives in Riverview.
Yeah, I live on Lucille, my wife and I. Hello, I'm Rick Fraley. My wife Heather and I live at 230 Lucille, and our business partner Matt Hartnett and I and Heather are going to be hopefully taking over the Cafe M space. Going to do a small restaurant. If you're familiar with something like Le Grand, or I guess new restaurants when you open up, it's going to be like that. We're going to try and do dinner 4 nights a week, and then brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. It's going to be kind of like a contemporary, modern American kind of movie. beer, wine, and a small amount of liquor. But it'll be open 4 p.m.-ish on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, close around 10. And then for brunch, we'll do Saturdays and Sundays from about 10:30 to 3. I think we have 24 seats inside, and outside for now we're going to use more of a sitting area waiting for tables. I don't know if we'll ever have outdoor seating or if we're just going to keep it as a waiting area, but it's the same setup that they had, if you're familiar with one cafe had. They had interior tables and they had 4 or 5 tables on the outside with just umbrellas, but we're going to do something similar, if not maybe not even that many tables. Small amount of build out, just changing out the floors. We're going to make the floor similar to this. They have the old tiles in there now. And then revamp the bar a little bit, put some paint on the walls anyway. We don't expect it to be open late at all, obviously 10 o'clock, just a restaurant. So if anybody has any questions, obviously this is what I can.
When do you guys come on?
We're hoping to open in October. It's all, we have our meetings tonight, obviously, to make sure nobody has any dire objections. Going to have our Department of Planning meeting on the, I think it's the 24th, 25th. It's the third Thursday of the month downtown. And then if all goes through well with that, we're going to have our city council meeting in the middle of September. And then everything goes well, we should be hopefully open in October, maybe November. We'll see how how building goes out and how that goes.
And you also run 10?
I do, yes. My wife attends up, and that's where I just came from. That's where I'm going back to, so we finished talking. Yeah.
They just won Best Chicken Salad.
We did? It's all one minute. Thank you very much. Yeah. It'll be a departure from what we're doing at Ten Top. Still fresh made food like we do there, everything homemade like we do there. Obviously Ten Top's more of a sandwichy kind of to-go place. This is going to be more about, I came up in fine dining. I was the sous chef at the Wild Monkey for about 4 years, if anybody remembers that place. I was at Bodega for a couple years downtown. I was the sous chef at Sterling's, if everyone remembers that. It's I don't even know what it is now. It's maybe a juice bar. But it used to be a steakhouse at one point on Grand Street. And I was actually my first executive chef job was Parallel 36, which was in the neighborhood, if you remember that, before I went out of business and got bought by Crackers. So I've been in a couple places. But we're going to keep that same mentality of just making everything from scratch, trying to make everything homemade. Obviously, there's no reason, in my opinion, no reason to open up a restaurant if you're not going to make it yourself. So we're going to do a smaller menu there. It's going to be 8 to 10 items a night, and the same thing kind of thing for brunch, changing every week at least, if not every couple days, just depending on what's we have available and what's in season. So we're kind of pretty excited about it.
Is there any dedicated bike parking plan?
I don't have any sort of plans to change the parking lot because that's kind of the Evanston people going to do that. I'm certain if that was a need that anybody thought we could definitely do that. There's definitely little poles around, but I mean, if we needed to do that, we could probably do something.
Anybody else have any questions?
Good to go.
Yeah.
All right. And did you need anything else from me before?
No, I'll send an email over to people planning.
Yeah.
Fine. What he needs from us is whether or not we have any objections to his restaurant opening, because we need to advise the planning department. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Do it.
Yes.
I make a motion that we support the new restaurant.
Second.
All in favor, raise your hands. All right. I'll send an email.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
I'm excited to walk into work, so it's not so bad. See you guys. Thank you very much. So I'll get some chicken salad in the meantime. See you later.
All right. the newsletter that you should have received. Yes.
I make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
And is there a second? But does anybody have any? No? All in favor? Opposed? The minutes are accepted. I haven't even had a glass of wine. All right, the treasurer's report. Dave Wolf is out of town, but he did provide us with the little reports that you should have some on your table. Our beginning balance was $10,842.56. We brought in $2,025.19, and that was primarily advertising, membership fees, and the $800 in earn money that we got for our environmental efforts over the past year. Our expenses were $1,860.83, and that, I believe, was primarily the cost of printing the newsletter. Yeah. And that leaves us with a checking balance of $11,006.92. Our CD balance is $5,242.46, giving us a grand total of $16,239.38. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. Membership.
Reports only. You can tell me that. We got a bunch of new members tonight, thank you. I'm still getting into membership stuff. I just put this over last month. But it looks like we have slightly over 130 members right now. And we're doing pretty well. And so I have, if there's another member who wants to join, let me know. We get the little membership sheets. If you join now, you get it good through December 17th. June 1st. That's all I have.
Audrey, you wanted to talk a little bit?
And as you brought up the EARN program, that's what I want to talk about. We belong through the city to the EARN program, which means environmental awards for recycling in Norfolk's neighborhoods. And we've been doing that for probably the last 10 years. And I'm just going to go through how we earn points for doing different things. And we make 2 reports each year. And we have, first of all, an earn presentation, which I'm giving tonight to earn 5 points. And recycling set-out rate. They count how many of the recycling parts are put out, and we get points according to the numbers that we put out. Recycling perks, how many people sign up for recycling perks, and if you haven't done that yet, you really should think about it because it's a fantastic program. I see you're nodding your head, Jeremy. You're using that?
Get through here.
Yeah. And special event recycling, that means when we have an event, and perhaps we're serving food or drinks or what have you, we have special carts here to be able to collect the recyclables. We earn points for that. Adopter spot. We have 2 adopter spots in the one in Riverview and one in Colonial Place. And we have members who take care of those 2 spots. We're going to have another one, I'll bring with me.
The Civic League has agreed. We've adopted the experimental walkway along Mayflower.
Right. So we earn points for those, and we have to send in an accounting quarterly on how much is being picked up and so on and so forth. We have Jeremy one down here in Riverview, Jack and myself, and then Stephen Brown takes care of one over at Colonial Place.
So what David Jones is voting?
I'm not sure he's still doing that. We can only have 2 spots to earn points, so unfortunately, which I don't think is fair, but I'm going to discuss that. Then we have the Great American Cleanup each year, where we do the cleanup throughout the neighborhood, usually in March, April. And depending on how many people we have doing it, we earn points accordingly. So it's always good to have as many people as you can out to do the cleanup. Environmental presentations throughout the year at the Civic League. We will have a presentation on environmental issues and youth engagement. Last year, Pete Stoll's troop put stormwater medallions around in Colonial Place, and we earned points for that. This coming year, which started in June 15th, we're looking for more youth engagement. So if you have a program or you have a group of young people that would like to do something, let me know, because I can guide you in doing that and we can earn some points. Let's see, based on homes, we earn points for having that flag out in our front yards. So sign up for that. And tree planting. We like to get at least 5 trees during the year that are being planted in the neighborhood. So it's very hard for me to track those trees. I need people to let me know if you're putting a tree in, what kind of tree, and so on and so forth. Because I make 2 reports throughout the year, and all of this has to be covered. Environmental articles, anything that goes in the newsletter that is regarding environmental issues or how to save water or what have you, we earn points for that. And I try to get in as many as I can, but if you can help by writing something for me, that would be great. And the new one is Story Hour. All you need is 5 students to have a story hour together, and it has to be a story regarding the environment. So if you would like to do something like that, let me know. I can let you know what you need to do, and so on and so forth. We're considered a large neighborhood, so we should get a maximum of 100 points, and then our earnings would be 1,100. Last year, we earned $950, and we had 93.75 points. Unfortunately, this year we're down. We're down to $800, and we have 84.5% points. So, a couple of things that sort of mess us up. Our recycling rate, set-out rate, was 64.48% last year, but it went down to 53.4% this year. If your card has not been picked up, or if a street is being missed, call the care line and let them know, and they will send somebody out probably the next day, because we're missing out on points when that kind of thing happens. If you don't have anything in your cart, still put it out, because there's a number on there, and that reports in that that cart has been placed out at the sidewalk, and it gives us points. So I know it sounds stupid, but you know, that's what we have to do. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Recycling perks did increase. We went from 382 to 510 people that signed up. And I think that's about it, unless anyone has any questions. Yes?
Does it matter where the tree is on? The tree?
No, the tree should be on your property.
Anywhere.
Or it could be in the grass verge, or maybe in the dog park, or something like that. Okay? Anything else from anyone? Oh, okay. And I'm getting tired of doing this. And if anyone wants to take over, let me know. And may I have a slide? Thanks.
Just have a few announcements. We are working towards getting the Mermaid relocated. We are looking at September 24th, I believe, as our dedication. The Mermaid will be placed in the circle at Colonial in Delaware. We received permission from the city to place it there, and we are hoping to have just a little bit of a ceremony on the 24th, perhaps have the mayor, one of our new city council people come for our dedication, and have followed that by our ice cream reception. And we'll take our ice cream social that we usually do in August and have that after the Mermaid dedication on the 24th. John, you're kind of spearheading it. Do you have anything you want to add?
I do not. We have everything on the field. We're moving towards getting it in, and we just have to make our plan.
You going to need any help when it comes time to digging that hole and pouring that cement?
We are going to need some volunteers probably 2 weeks before the dedication to place the concrete, dig the hole and place the concrete that the base is going to be for the Mermaid. And you can find me on the back of this lovely newsletter under Community Improvement and Beautification. If you feel like you can come out for the day and assist in digging a hole and pushing some concrete around, it's not going to be a real terrible thing. It's going to be actually kind of fun. But we need volunteers to be able to do that. And then after we get that concrete and that base in, we'll have some finished work to do on setting the flags that go on it and actually taking the Mermaid and putting her on top. And we're going to need some tall people, good hands for that. But other than that, give me a holler, please, and let me know if you'd like to come out for the day and work on that in a circle. You put that on the next goal, we're going to do it. I will do that.
And Debbie Cook has graciously agreed to kind of coordinate our dedication ceremony and the ice cream social. And if anybody would like to give her a hand or has any thoughts about that, Debbie, do you have anything you want to say at this point? Or are you still in early planning stages?
Well, I was kind of waiting to hear back. Did we talk to MJ about having it there?
I have not.
Okay. Once we have that, we can start deciding. We talked about getting a big sheet cake. I looked into that. Possibly having a picture of the Mermaid on there. And we'll just make it a fun celebration for everybody. So if anybody has any ideas or wants to talk about it.
This is September 24th?
September 24th. This is a Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
Do we want to do the ice cream social there at the circle, or is that too dangerous?
I think that's too dangerous. We don't want children running across the street to get ice cream. Let's see, I've got a few announcements from the city. The Vision 2100 plan, which we did have someone from planning come and speak to us about a couple of months ago. They have another meeting on August 18th at 6 o'clock at the Slover Library. And this is to look at the city's overall resiliency efforts to include in their plan. It's free and open to the public, and if anyone is interested, it'll be at Slover Library on August 18th at 6 o'clock. The Community Emergency Response Team is free training that teaches citizens how to prepare themselves and their families for emergencies and disasters. People who have taken CERT training are a community resource for emergency management, assisting with disaster assessment and relief. There will be a class this month, August 20th. It's an all-day class on Saturday. There's 2 classes you need to attend. It's from 8 to 4:30. August 20th and August 27th. And it's at the Norfolk Emergency Operations Center, first precinct at 3661 East Virginia Beach Boulevard. And if anyone is interested in that, it was on next door. And I've got the contact information here if anyone is interested. As some of you may have noticed, the bike paths are being laid on Llewellyn and with portions of 26th and 27th Street, Alney Road, Colley Avenue, 35th Street. Llewellyn is now one lane in each direction. What was the other lane is now the bike lane. So if you're in a car, please be aware, be careful, and don't take out our friends on the bicycles. And I think that is all I have, other than they do offer training through the Fire and Rescue Department for something called Stop the Bleed, as well as hands-on CPR. Basically, it's just very basic first aid CPR. And if anyone is interested, we can have them come to one of our meetings and just do some very quick training on hands-on, hands-only CPR and dealing with wounds and things that you might come up against. A child takes a bad fall or something like that. Does anyone have anything they want to discuss? Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say that I would like you to be aware that the garden behind Fellini's, that we are working on trying to get it cleaned up, and that we do have spaces and the flowers
which are
over there, and that I know sometimes people think that gardening is just for vegetables and things, but we would certainly welcome people to grow flowers there. So if anyone's interested, we do still have spaces, and we'll have spaces next spring.
I know that y'all are looking to do a kind of a major cleanup.
Yes.
And if you'd like to let us know, and if anyone wants to help, they maybe come out and give y'all a hand.
Yes, we're going to have one on Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yes, at 9 o'clock.
Yes, put on next door, your next door. That kind of, I guess people remind to see that.
I'll certainly, I can post it again.
Great.
I just want to know if there was anything new about that school on Carolina. I know a couple months ago we had some news, and
the city council is supposed to take up the rezoning on the 19th of this month. I assume that rezoning is step one in moving forward on having the work done. But that is all I know at this point. Pete?
Our new dog spot to walk with. Can we set a recurring, the second Saturday of the month or so, so it's a recurring meeting for the newsletter, next door, so it kind of catching it. That way it's a, they can plan on that for like 2 hours on Saturday, maybe 10 or something, for Saturday. And we get some newsletter first.
It's a good idea. I need to talk to John Stewart a little bit more to find out exactly what he needs us to do and have somebody show us what can stay and what is weeds and we have to pull off. So we'll go in and rip out the things that they've spent so much time taking care of. But yeah, I'll do that. Greg, do you have anything as far as the newsletter?
Just a reminder for everybody, they had new photos. A couple months ago, I tried doing a photo of the month and it kind of dried up. I didn't have any framing. So if you're a photographer, go out and take some photos of the community and send them in to me. Email them back to the newsletter. And also stories. If you have anything going on, nonprofits or any organizations that you're a part of that you want to share with the Civic League and our residents, feel free to send them in and I'll format it and get in the newsletter.
think I'm done. Thank you all very much for coming, and we will see you next month.